My father disappeared when I was 16. No warning, no goodbye, just an empty chair at the dinner table, and a phone that went straight to voicemail. For 2 years, I told everyone the same thing. My dad left us. I said it like it was a fact, like the story was simple. But the truth is, I wanted to believe that, because the other possibility felt worse, that something terrible had happened. At first, my mom tried to stay hopeful. She kept his tools in the garage untouched. His coffee mug stayed on the kitchen shelf, exactly where he left it. Every morning, she looked at the front door, just for a second, like she expected it to open, like he might walk in. But days became weeks, and weeks became months. People slowly stopped asking about him. The story became easier. He walked out. That's what everyone believed. And I started believing it too, because anger was easier than fear. I hated the silence in the house. I hated the empty chair. I hated watching my mom cry quietly when she thought I wasn't looking. The bills started piling up. Responsibilities fell on me. Suddenly, I was the man of the house, even though I was still just a kid. Whenever I saw other fathers with their sons, something inside me tightened. I imagined what I would say to him if he ever came back. You left us. You abandoned your family. You don't get to come back now, not after everything. But he never came back. Not for my graduation, not when my mom got sick, not when we sold his truck. 2 years passed like that, slow and quiet. Then one afternoon, someone knocked on our door. 2 slow knocks, heavy ones. I opened the door expecting a delivery. Instead, I saw 2 police officers. For a second, my heart froze, because one thought hit me instantly. They finally found him, after all this time. But the officer didn't say my father was dead. He asked a strange question. Are you the son of Michael Harris? I nodded slowly. The officer looked at something in his hand, then back at me. We believe your father helped save someone's life 2 years ago. I didn't understand what he meant. My father wasn't a hero. He was just a mechanic, a man who fixed engines. The officer explained there had been an investigation, a dangerous one. It involved criminals working near the factory, where my father worked. At some point, my father reported something important. And once he spoke to the police, things became dangerous. So he agreed to help them. More than just a report. My father became a witness, helping them build a case. But the people involved were violent, and they knew someone had talked. So the police moved him, somewhere safe, a place where no one could find him, not even his own family. My chest felt tight hearing that, because suddenly everything changed. Why didn't he tell us? I asked. The officer answered quietly, because it would have put you in danger. The investigation lasted almost 2 years, longer than anyone expected. But recently the case ended. The criminals were arrested, which meant my father could finally return home. After all that time. Then the officer hesitated, before continuing. Your father tried to come back 3 weeks ago, but there was an accident on the highway, a bad one. He didn't survive. He never made it home. For a long moment, I couldn't speak. My mind felt empty. All the anger I carried for 2 years suddenly felt heavy. The officer handed me a small envelope. Inside was a photograph. My father sat at a small kitchen table, looking older and tired. But it was him, without any doubt. On the back of the photo were 5 words, written in his handwriting. Tell my son I'm sorry. Those were the words. My throat tightened reading them. I couldn't breathe for a second. The officer gave me one more thing, a small metal key. It belonged to a storage locker, where his belongings were kept. Inside, we found a jacket, a worn notebook, and a small stack of letters addressed to us. 1 letter for my mother, 1 letter for me. My hands shook opening mine. The paper looked old. Son, if you're reading this, it means everything is finally over, and the danger is gone. I'm sorry I had to disappear like that. The police wouldn't let me explain, not even to you, even though I wanted to. Every day I thought about coming home, every single day. But they said the people involved were dangerous, and you had to stay safe. I missed your birthday. I missed your graduation. And I know you probably hate me now. I would understand if you did. But I hope someday you understand why I had to leave. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. I left because I wanted you safe. The letter ended with one final sentence, the one that broke me. I'm proud of the man you're becoming. Those were his last words to me. For 2 years, I believed my father abandoned us. I hated him for it. But the truth was something else entirely, something heavier. He didn't leave to escape his family. He left to protect it. And he never lived long enough to explain that. Now, when I walk past that empty chair, I don't feel anger anymore, just regret, quiet and heavy. Because the man I thought abandoned us was actually trying to save us. And I spent 2 years hating him for it, every single day. Sometimes I still imagine the door opening, hearing his footsteps again. If that ever happened, I wouldn't yell. I wouldn't accuse him anymore. I would just say one thing. I understand, and I'm sorry.